Yes.
Yeah, got some good pictures. For these railings we put up, I think to put the railings up when my brother was born, so he wouldn't fall off.
But you never did fall off.
No, never fell off. But, no, there were 23 children in the 4 and 5, school age, in the 400 and 500 blocks of Lawton at that time.
Yeah.
Playmates for everybody, and that didn't count the people that were in the up and down the street.
Right.
Oh yeah, so it was the best place in this world for a while. Right on the bus line, the bus used to come in often and go back up Mitchell.
The bus came down the street.
Yeah, because we didn't have cars. I mean, we had one car and Daddy took it to work.
Right.
And so we rode the bus everywhere.
Well, so what, it
Skated.
go down to Stanley then, go around the corner?
I think it went down to Boynton. Turned to Boynton. Because I remember the bus stop was right over there. Across the street, yeah. And we as children would get on the bus by ourselves. I mean, you didn't worry about things then.
And you'd go downtown to the library and movies and...
Well, didn't have the two movies. They had the Capitol Theater and the Center Theater. Well, in the Victory Theater, actually, there were three.
Really?
But the Victory only showed cowboy movies.
Oh.
That was okay. Yeah, it was fun. But then you could go to the movies for a quarter, have a quarter, and you could get in, I think it was 9 cents, and get a drink, which was a nickel, and a box of popcorn, which was a dime. And you left over.
Wow.
So, I mean, you could sit there all day. You didn't have to leave when it was over.
Yeah. Was it air conditioned?
I doubt it. No, I'm sure we didn't have anything, but I know. How did I get cool? I know, well, you just didn't think about being cool.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
We didn't have air conditioning. Yeah, my bedroom was upstairs. And I'd take a shower, and before you could get dried off, because you were wet again. It was hot, but we had an attic fan. And so that attic fan.
Yeah, those big fans that just kind of
sucked the wallpaper off the wall.
Yeah, just sort of emptied the whole house. Well,
then we roller skated mainly, but the kids did. We roller skated uptown. Rode our bikes to school. We went to Wiley School, and then we walked to Boynton. But Wiley, when we started school, didn't have a cafeteria.
Really?
So we'd ride our bikes home for lunch, and then ride back. It was a great time.
Oh God, it sounds like it. You know, and then some of those people that you knew then as kids, you've stayed in contact with over the years.
Oh yeah, and a lot of them still live here in Salisbury. And one of my best friends grew up down in the 800 block. But we've done it 3 times. We moved back over here in 2000. When my mother died in 1995, and my dad died in 1999. So we were either faced with selling or moving over here.
Yeah.
And so we thought, that might be fun. And so, hey, it's been great being here. But Francis Lynn, the Falls, lived across the street, Francis Lynn and Betty. And when we first moved back over here, we decided to have a Maupin Avenue reunion. And invited back all the kids that we used to play with. Started out just these blocks. But then, see, Glen Catmull was just one house into the next block. And one of my best friends was 2 houses into the next block. So then we went into the 300 block. Anyway, it kind of exploded. And so we did it this year for the 3rd time. And by now, we've reached all the way over to Lincoln Road because there were people over there that came over here to play.
Well, sure.
And we all played in Wiley Woods.
Wiley Woods? Where was Wiley Woods?
Well, it was over on Wiley Avenue, down in that area.
Well, it's down where Centennial Park is now?
Might have been in that area, in the next block. But we'd go, and I can remember, and see, you'd leave in the morning. We didn't have cell phones or anything. Mother never knew where we were, really. But we knew what time to be home for lunch. And then we'd be back for supper. And after supper, we were back outside playing semi-circle, kick the can, ain't no bears out tonight. You remember that?
I remember Kick the Can, but I didn't know these others.
They were all hiding games.
Right.
Yeah. And we knew when the street lights came on, we all had to go inside. That was time to go home. When the street lights come on, but sometimes they let us come back out when it was dark.
Well, that was also a time before television. I mean, it had been invented, but it wasn't necessarily something that people had in their homes.
No, the first TV, the Foles had. He used to have Foles Store, which is up on Fulton Street where the Cuban restaurant is.
The Mambo Grill.
Mambo Grill. That was his appliance side. And then the other side was a grocery store.
Okay.
And he had freezers. So if you wanted to store anything in his freezer, you could. He had a big walk-in freezer. Because we didn't have freezers in our home. And I guess most of the refrigerators didn't really have freezers. And so if you buy meat or if you buy half cow or whatever, you could store it up there. And he, having an appliance store, had the first television set.
Oh, okay.
And I never forget, Frances Lynn invited me over one night to see a playhouse. And in my mind, a playhouse was like that little house we have in the backyard. I knew what a playhouse was. And it was a drama.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I was just, of course, we didn't really watch it, but it was just to see the television. But man, it was called the Playhouse. Go see Playhouse something.
Yeah. I recall the name, but we didn't have television when I was a kid, or we had for a short period of time, and then didn't, but
And then one by the way, of course, it's black and white, and you had your antennas that you'd have to get up and get the antenna on the roof to go around. You were lucky.
They
so
have
you
a
could
little
pick up programs.
Right, get it to turn so you can catch the signal from the right place.
But good programs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, just good family kind of programs.
Do you remember when you first got television here at your home? Were you in high school then?
Do not remember, but I remember, it was just a little.
Right.
In a big wooden case, a big console. I do remember. And I must have been 4th grade. But one of my good friends lived over next to Salisbury High School, across the street. And used to do Miss Salisbury there in the auditorium at the high school. And so this was Miss Salisbury pageant night.
Oh, okay.
And so she and I, back then we wore these little halter tops, just elastic. Mother made all my clothes. I didn't have any store-bought stuff. And just a little elastic top and shorts. And I had some sandals with a broken strap on them. And so we went over and we were standing at the windows. Of course, they were open, wide open, no air conditioner or anything. And so we were standing at the windows watching the pageant. And it started raining. So we ran over to her mother, and her mother gave us money to get in. And so went in late and sat upstairs. And they had a door prize of a television set. TV King was the make. And I'm sitting up there in the balcony, and I get this ticket. And I won the door. They called my ticket out.
Wow.
And so here I go downstairs, this broken strap sandal, slap, slap, slap down the aisle, and looking like a ragamuffin. And the Foles were in the audience, and Frances said, she leaned at me and she said, "Oh, look at her, bless her. I'm so glad she won. She certainly needs it." Then I get up on the stage, and it was fun. So that's it. And it was just a little tabletop TV, just a small. So I really remember that one, but mainly I remember the radio. And here in the living room, we'd sit and listen to the squeaking door, Mr. Vincent Norton, The Shadow, and The Lone Ranger. Used to love The Lone Ranger.
Yeah.
I think it's so much better than watching television. And really, because you had your own ideas of what it would look like.
You had to imagine.
And no commercials.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, there were great days to be.
I remember the Great
Yeah, I really-
Gildersleeve. Remember that program?
The what?
The Great Gildersleeve?
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, but again,
How old are you? Am I older than you? Probably. Good bit.
we're about the same.
Is that all right? No, I don't remember that. What were you saying? Well, fun. Actually, this yard is one reason we wanted to community. Used to, Bill Griffith lived across the street, and Bill and I played Clue right here in this spot by the owl. And I can remember during the polio epidemic. I don't know what year, I think, but once again, I was probably in the third grade or so. So it had to be.
Late 40s, probably.
Yeah, but seeing the ambulance pull up, we were quarantined. We
Right.
couldn't leave our yards.
Yeah.
And so we'd stand in the yards and yell across at each other. And seeing the ambulance pull up.
Mm.
And Barbara said, "Cook," and still, we got a hold of it.
Oh dear.
And so she, but she, she was in a wheelchair, so they put an elevator in the hospital during COVID. But my brother had a pool table upstairs in what we call the playroom. And it was not a standard size pool table. You know, it was just a small thing. But all his friends would come to the front door and they'd go up the steps to the upstairs. And then I had a ping pong table on the breezeway in the back. And my friend, and we had what we call blast parties in high school. You come and have a blast. And you didn't send out invitations, but everybody just knew who to come. I mean, it was just, you just intuitively knew whether you were welcome or not. I don't know. But anyway, we'd have record play and have a blast and ping pong tables on. And then there was a basketball goal and the swings and all in the backyard. And that's where my brother had his friend.
Wow.
So it really was just kind of a,
Three-ring
it
circus.
was a gathering spot. And just,
Yeah.
In fact, one of the regrets I got for the reunion was Mo Barker lived up the street a little bit. And he started out, he said, thank you for giving me the opportunity. Finally, thank you for letting me play in the backyard and have so much fun over those years. So it was, and you had clothes on.
Sure.
We had a chicken house. The Davises lived next door before the Cooks came. And they had chickens, and so they had left their chicken house out there about where the garden is now.
Yeah.
And so we scrubbed that chicken house. It was just a shell.
Yeah.